freaking hide. Like you couldn't in real life. Because when the cops are after me, I just strip naked and jump in the mud. They don't see anything. I actually have a story about that. Because in my youth, I've had to hoof it from the po-po a few times. Twice in a car and then once on foot. Nothing bad. It was just like teenage shenanigans, but we got away. That would have been horrific. But anyway, there's one story to where basically it was like me, a girl I just met, but we were kind of sort of dating. I'm like 16 and a half. I just got my license not too long ago. So anyway, we're at a school playground at like 2 o'clock in the morning, hanging out, doing things that teenagers do. All right, we're gonna hide from them. So we're hanging out for about 45 minutes when, I don't know, we'll say about 100 meters away or 100 yards, give or take, we see like a weird silhouette in the darkness. Now it's super dark out, but there are lights, but we're in a playground, so it's, there's no lights around us. And then we're assuming it's one of our friends because this is kind of like a hangout spot for teenagers at the time. There was like, I don't know, a dozen different hangout spots that we could go to like do things that teenagers do. And this place was one of them. So we thought it was just one of our friends coming up, but then all of a sudden we heard the and we're like, oh shit, that's the popo. So we stand up and we start walking, and as soon as we did that, we start hearing the jingle jangle of running, like sprinting towards us. So the popo was coming at us. So me, the girl I was just met like 3 days prior than that, but we're sort of dating now, and my buddy starts sprinting away from this playground. It's a giant. It's the school yard it's huge. So we're running. I don't know. We'll say like 500 meters, give or no, not 500 meters. Well, let's say 250 meters or more. Because we know a shortcut because we grew up here. This is where we're all born and raised. So we get through the fence, and as soon as we get through the fence, we hide next to this house picket fence, or not a picket fence, but a long board fence. And as soon as we dug down, a cop car just comes tearing ass down the street to where we cut through from the school. And then a cop gets out. So we're like, oh shit. So luckily he didn't see us. If he would have just looked to his left, he would have seen us. So as soon as he ran to the gate, we jumped this fence. So we're in this guy's backyard, just some random backyard at like 2:30 in the morning. And now two cops are chasing us, one in a car, the other one on foot. While we're hiding back there, this guy's got like a shed. So we're in between like his shed and then the fence on his property. And we hear like, it must have been a dozen cop cars show up. At least that's what it sounded like at the time. So we're like freaking out, man, because it's not like we were like breaking windows or, I was never one of those type of guys. We weren't vandalizing or anything. We were just hanging out doing what teenagers do, but we didn't want cops showing up being like, what the hell are you doing here? Because back then, I don't know how, probably it is nowadays, but if you were a teenager hanging out 2:30 in the morning, you'd get in trouble. Plus, we were all underage, so who knows? Anyway, we don't want to be caught. So we wait. And also it's winter time, so it's like 35 degrees outside, in freedom units. It's pretty cold. It's not freezing, but it's almost freezing. It's super cold. So it calms down after about 2 hours, because for the first like 10 minutes, you get like flashlights and you could hear the cops looking for us and everything. But we were too scared to jump the fence because we didn't know if there was like a cop hanging out in his car or whatever. So finally, after about, I don't know if it was 2 hours, it felt like 2 hours. Maybe it was only 45 minutes to an hour. I got the great idea. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to strip down in my underwear and light up a cigarette and just walk out like I own this house, like I live here. And then if I get questioned by the cops, we're like, no, I live here. I haven't seen anybody. What are you talking about? Because I know they didn't see me. They were too far away. So I stripped down into my skivvies next to this girl I just met. And then one of my BFFs. And he was like, dude, that's crazy, but it just might work. So I'm naked, or not naked, I'm in my skivvies, light up a cigarette, and I walk out of this fence like I own this joint. Like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I'm looking up and down the street, smoking. I'm in the front yard praying to God the owner doesn't wake up. But we're not making a lot of noise, so I'm assuming the owner's not going to wake up. And then I'm looking up. I don't see any cops. I'm good to go. I'm like, yeah, I think we're good. I go back, retrieve my BFF and the girl I just met 3 days prior, and we mosey on to the other side of the school, jump in my car that was parked in a neighborhood that was on the other side. I don't know, we'll say like it was like 3/4 of a square kilometer or something. And Oh man, that was impressive. That's one of my favorite stories from my teenage years. I've got a lot of stories that didn't end so well, but that's one of my favorites. Anyway, sorry about that. That was on a monologue there. Started a fresh game. Yep. Perisno, hard mode. Nice. We love hardcore. Renee's guy says, you spicy little. Yep. 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 Good times. Good times.